Hello, welcome to another episode of Constitutionalist Podcast. I am your host, Joseph M. Leonard. That's L-E-N-A-R-D. It looks French. It's not. It's Leonard without an O. Thank you for tuning in. As Graham Norton used to say on his show, let's get on with the show! Welcome to Deja Vu Week. No, that's not what it is. But kind of, sort of. Welcome to Books/Authors Week, May 2026. Just coming out of April 2026, Books/Authors Week, and October Books/Authors Weeks of October 2025. So yes, you guessed it. It's all about cucumbers and tomatoes and deli shopping. Yep. Books. Let's get on a guest. Joining me today is Christopher Choate, but you look at it, it's like Choate. C-H-O-A-T-E, but spelled or pronounced Choate. Welcome to the show, Christopher.
Hey, thank you, sir. It's an honor to be here.
Oh, glad to have you. Glad to have you. You are the author of Apollo Wept. Wept. No broom,
yes.
No brooms involved, I take it.
No.
But before we get to Apollo Wept, let's learn about Christopher Choate. Where were you born and raised? Where are you now? Significant places you may have been between, that sort of thing.
Sure, be glad to. I'll try to keep from putting your audience to sleep here. Born in Western Kentucky, raised in Southern Illinois and Western Tennessee. Had a love for flying from day one from my dad. And that took me to the Air Force and what was Memphis State University back then. Spent 24 years in the Air Force. I flew the F-4 Phantom and the F-15E Strike Eagle as a weapons systems officer. For those who are not familiar with that, just think of Top Gun, think of Goose, the backseater. That's the easiest way to describe it. Did that for 24 years, a couple of flew a desk in there, the Pentagon, a few other places, worked with a doctrine for unmanned aircraft, did some weapons testing, retired, worked for the Air Force for a few years. Got into writing when my first PC came out, in the early 90s, when I got my first PC, I wrote Christmas letters, decided everyone, we would write about them. They don't want to read something boring, so I try to make them interesting. And as you know, no good deed goes unpunished. And I kept getting these things from my parents and family. Oh, they can't wait for the next one. So that put pressure. So I had to keep trying to make them better. Long story short on that is I had some dear family friends who told me I needed to write, and I promised them I would. And around 2020, finally came up with an idea for a book. And here I am talking to you.
That's great. That's great. Yeah. So no job at Hallmark involved.
No, sir, not at all. I did write for the Air Force, but those are technical reports, which are they'll put you to sleep. If you have insomnia, they would be a great solve to that.
Kind of like instead of Hallmark cards, they were Christopher Choate cards, huh?
Yes, yeah, along that line, yes, sir.
What was the genesis of Apollo Wept?
It takes it back to that lovely year of 2020. I think the thing that finally got me, cancer culture had been alive and well, and they just went into overtime with COVID there. We tore down, a mob tore down a statue of President Lincoln in Portland, Oregon. And here we are. He's I think historians pretty much put him one or two as our greatest presidents. And we're tearing down a statue to that guy. And I just kind of thought, and this goes back to, I did some strategic planning in my Air Force at the Pentagon. And you kind of take drivers and you try to project those forward and go, where will we be in, 50, 100 years from now? And I just took that, I go, if we're tearing down statues of Lincoln, where would we be in 100 years? And that was where I came up with the idea of Apollo Wept. and it all centers on the Pioneer and Voyager probes. Now, the one I talk about in the book is Voyager. We've just gone so woke and so far into the way we were at in the 20s. If we just kept that slope going. And so what I've done in the book here is I have a dystopian America. The Constitution is gone. It's basically been declared unconstitutional, which is about as Orwellian as you can get. But we have a new America, and we're eradicating our history, particularly what I call the faux area, the late 20th century to the early years of the 21st century, when America was truly, to me, was becoming the country that our founding fathers talked about and our documents say. And then we went off the rails. And so anyway, long story short on this is they discover as we're burning records, the Voyager probe has a plaque on it. And this plaque shows a male and a female. And that is denial. That says there's only two genders. And in New America, there are 69 genders.
Appropriate number.
Yes, I always get it. 68 and 101.
Wink,
I don't
wink, wink, nod, nod. Yeah, 69. Yeah.
So we can't allow this plaque to go off into the cosmos and stain our legacy for all of eternity. So and we're broke, by the way, at the same time. So we have China build us a spaceship. And the spaceship is called the USS Despair, and it is going to leave the first ship to leave the solar system to go find Voyager and take that plaque off and replace with the one that says there's 68 genders and 101 sexual orientations. We've got to add them there too. So that is the genesis of the whole book. We're going out to replace the plaque because we can't allow that denial, that bigotry to sail off into the cosmos.
Right. Yeah, a couple things like Lincoln. I doubt they were fans of habeas corpus because a legit criticism of Lincoln could only be he suspended the writ of habeas corpus.
Absolutely.
But the people tearing down the Lincoln statue probably don't even know what the hell the words habeas corpus means or is.
I wouldn't bet against you. I would not.
Right. And the other thing, I love anything. I love the first Star Trek film with the original crew, right? Voyager. Yeah. So I love the way you put this play in there. A different kind of play. I like this spin on that. That's very interesting.
Well, thank you. That comes from, there's an AI who is from our era, if you will. He's the first digital AI, and he's a great grandfather, and that goes into more we want to talk about here. But he is a big fan of the original Star Trek, and that's where the Apollo Wept came from. And if you're a Trekkie, I probably don't need to tell you more than that.
Yeah. Yeah, all that classic. I'm still a fan of the classic stuff. The more modern stuff, the first season of Voyager was good. After that, it went to hell, in my opinion. First season of Picard was good. After that, it went to hell. And it's like all these and I was a big fan of Scott Bakula in the Enterprise series. I loved that. But of late, everything has got all this woke crap.
It has, and it's just and you wonder why Hollywood is suffering as they are. I think they just got writers that wrote what they wanted to write and what they wanted to write, but like you say, a good chunk of America don't care to see it or hear it.
Yeah, but that's not off the rails, I would say, because Roddenberry was an atheist and kind of a political correct kind of guy at the time, right? I mean, all those Star Trek early episodes took on cultural things that were taboo to the first interracial kiss between Kirk and Uhura and all that. I mean, so not off track, just way overboard these days.
That's exactly the words I would use. I'm conservative and libertarian, but a lot of things come from the country by people pushing us. Where I like the way things are, blah blah, what have you. But you need to be pushed a little. But and Roddenberry did that. But like I say, now we're not pushing. We're like just throwing ourselves off the cliff. And so I think that's the difference. A good, healthy, moving us forward is good. But we have got since, what I'm going to call wokeism is just, it's gone off the rail, and it's not pushing it anymore. I say it's kicking us off the cliff.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, dealing with a large sector of our society is one thing. Modern wokeism is catering to less than 1% of society. It's just ridiculous. But anyway,
totally agree.
Didn't bring you here for that. Is there a potential sequel in the works?
For Apollo Wept, there might be a prequel. Originally, it's written as it's 3 books, literally. It's one put together. They made a marketing decision. They're all 3 together. So it's kind of a complete story. But I think there are some prequels to it. I'm already working. The next book is on the Tuskegee Airmen. It's an alternative history for the Tuskegee Airmen, and I'm having a lot of fun with that one. But I'm afraid I'm gonna. Well, you always somebody's gonna be mad at me. But,
touching a few third rails there, are we?
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. But I'll defend them once I get it out there. I'll be glad to defend them against anybody. But yeah, you're right. There's I hadn't thought of that term, but more than one third rail. I think I've hit a couple of them.
So we know what got you into writing, and we know what you're working on now. What is your creative process? We all deal with writer block at time or another, right? I go into that in my How to Write a Book and Get It Published. It's tips and techniques. Everybody has it at some point. How do you deal? I find the more you try to pressure yourself to write, the more writer block is likely to happen to you.
Agree. And again, I'm obviously unlike you. You got a couple of books out, right?
I'm up to like 10. Yeah.
All right, you're an expert. So I probably can't tell you anything you probably haven't already thought of. But what I've found, and I've heard other people say this, is I'm a big runner. And when I'm running, I seem to kind of a creative thoughts that I just can't get sitting in front of a keyboard. And the biggest problem I have now at my age now is trying to remember them. I get back from the run and go, oh, now what was that?
You need to carry I have an digital recorder. Yes.
I can tell that. Yeah.
Yeah. Or just your smartphone, of course, because you can stop running, open up your email app. One of my tips and techniques is open up your email app. Either Google Assistant or whatever, dictate yourself an email about what you're thinking, email it to yourself before you forget. And then, of course,
great technique. That's a great technique. And again, I say I usually get it back, but it takes a little bit of work trying to remember it. It'd be so much easier just to, like they listen to what you were thinking at the time.
Exactly. And you may not remember it all, as long as you could get a bullet point or two to jog, running pun intended, jog your memory, right? It doesn't matter if you're out jogging, running, you're in your car, pull off to the side of the road. When you get an idea, dictate it into your phone before you forget, because one never knows when indeed the muse is going to kick in. Yes.
Yeah, I agree. Totally agree. It doesn't happen in front of the keyboard usually. It's usually out doing, like you say, something else.
So have you loosely based? Now I know, like all my disclaimers are fictional characters. Any, to living or dead is coincidental, but usually as writers, we borrow aspects of friends' lives to put into our book. Absolutely. So we're using them fictionally. You got some friends that you kind of borrowed a little bit for your characters?
Yeah, some mannerisms, some of my friends, I've kind of got those in there. The biggest one, I guess, would be, again, I have, it's Dr. Lincoln, call him Pop, and he is the great-grandfather of the protagonist. And never met him, But he, again, was born in 57, passed away about 95 years later, and this is after that. But again, there's a story how his digital memories, or how his memories become digitized, and he becomes what is, in my book, the first human-based, or first digital intellect based off human memories and human intellect. But it's his great-grandfather, and that is my dad, pretty much all over, who he's very very smart, not the most educated guy in the world, but very smart. Had a very low tolerance for stupidity. And this guy is dealing with a lot of stupidity in 2104, and he's telling them about it. So that was, again, so that's probably the biggest example that if you read that and knew my dad, you go, yeah, I kind of see the resemblance here. But
Yeah, what was the movie? Idiocracy comes to mind. Right.
Yes.
Right. As we keep, if the current trends are any indication, by 2104, we'll be a society of ignoramuses. Yeah.
That line is in my book. He's introduced him to his grandson, who's a captain of the USS Despair, and he goes, "Your ship's named Despair," and he gets in this, and Pop goes, "Oh my God, Idiocracy! I thought it was a comedy."
Yeah, no, it didn't. Documentary, exactly.
Oh, yeah, now a documentary. Yeah, I've heard that joke before, and I kind of borrowed a little of that as Pop.
Exactly.
He finds out I'm on a ship named USS Despair, heading off to intercept a probe that's been dead for 100 years, just to take the plaque off of it. But
yeah, and also comes to mind as one of the many H.G. Wells time machine remakes, the one with Guy Pearce, where he's in the future, and the AI librarian.
I haven't seen that.
Very well redone. I love the way they did it with Guy Pearce. Time machine.
Okay.
And indeed, in the future, like, librarians have become AI, and they're projected on crystal panels and interact with people. And he remembers dealing with them in one time frame, and then several hundred years in the future. It's like, you can't be the same guy. How are you the same guy?
Okay.
So,
all right. We'll put that on my list. I need to see that.
Yeah, great. I think I'll watch it again this afternoon. I haven't seen it again. I haven't seen it for a while. Although, full disclosure, we're recording right after Christmas. It's still Die Hard season.
Yeah, that's right. Yep.
I did see Die Hard for the season. Did you rewatch Die Hard this year?
Yes, that's a requirement. Got to watch that.
Yep. It is a Christmas movie because the writers say it was. They wanted an action movie built as a Christmas movie. Yeah. So I've been on several shows to talk about that. I have a couple of my own shows that discusses that. But anyway, didn't have you here to talk about that. But how was your Christmas, since we're on Christmas?
It was good. Went to Kentucky with my wife's family. So it was always good to get her up there, and it was a good time. Good time to get up there, and glad to be home.
Of course, when this airs, people will be saying, Christmas? Boy, that was a while ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, pretty good.
Oh, so tell us a little bit more, maybe without too many spoilers, other characters.
Okay. Renee Smith. She's not on the ship, but Penn Lincoln is the protagonist. He's the captain of the ship. He's the last fighter pilot in the Air Force, and there's a kind of story how he ended up being in what's called the U.S. Space Collective Equity, or Space Equity Collective. He meets her at an illegal speakeasy just a couple months before he leaves, and obviously he didn't intend to fall in love with her, but he does. And she ends up running afoul of the government when there was a purge of artifacts and stuff in this club. So Texas, in this case, is an independent nation. So she has to run to Texas to get out from being persecuted for the government, because she loses her job, loses her credit cards, because she's been found as in this 20th century nightclub. And he starts making decisions based off that, trying to get back to see her, and they was compound, and the Chinese are involved, and the Chinese do not want the ship coming straight back from the Voyager because they will discover there's an undiscovered subplanet which is full of minerals that China is mining, and they have used they've got it basically they've got it's hidden. They have put in viruses, so they're the only ones that know it's there. The long range cameras, everything can't see it because they have put viruses into them. But they know the spare will basically fly right by it and see it. So now China is against it. So now China and America is that. So you got the captain of the Chinese spaceship is fairly prominent. Will Borgman is the antagonist. He is a social justice officer on board USS Despair. If you think of the old Russian political officer, if you think of like a Taliban religious official, whatever they call those guys, what those jerks are called, running around, enforcing their thought and their beliefs. That's kind of what Will Borgman is. He's on there to, and he runs the ship mainly because he's in charge of social justice. And Penn finally kind of realizes he's not in charge of the ship. The doctor is an old, almost Dr. McCoy, almost a Dr. McCoy. He's old school, and he doesn't get along. He's social justice enemy number one, and he's proud of it. Yeah.
So hat tip back to Star Trek there to a little bit of a degree. Yeah,
it is. It's Dr. Browning, but he's he looks a lot like McCoy, but because he's not happy with the way things are going with the social justice. The XO is a very Antonio Washington. Now, intentionally, Lincoln he spells his name with E. Washington spells his with an I. Since they both changed their names from Lincoln, that was intentional. Get more of the satire. But he is he's the XO, very sharp individual, and again, all Americans are identified by their identified gender, their sexual orientation, and their color of skin. And Antonio is a little different because he's undeclared on two of those. He's a black officer, but he's never really said his sexual orientation or his identified gender. And Penn works on that because I can't get you promoted until I get you into those categories. And those are the main characters. There's I say quite a few in it. And one of the things that they got weird names. They all got weird names. Chief of staff of the president, the Indignity House. It's no longer the White House; it's the Indignity House. She's the chief of staff. She's very prominent because she's there. All the things that's going on with a ship that's coming back from D.C. or from Washington. That's probably more than I need. That's probably I get too much in here. I won't shut up her.
So pretty much a leftist utopia.
It is. It's a dystopian where it's
the left gone wild to the umpteenth millionth degree.
Agreed.
But yet they won't take it as satire. They'll take it as a roadmap. Just like they did in Orwell's 1984.
Yeah, I would be interested. I haven't seen. Well, again, I haven't got it out yet. But if it does, I'll be public enemy 3 or 4 if it gets out and catches on, because again, it's anti-woke, no doubt about it. And if you're going to try to defend woke, then you won't be happy with the book. So.
Well, thank you, Christopher Choate. I mean, Choate. It's spelled Choate. Appreciate your time coming on. Look forward to Apollo Wept and hopefully a sequel. A prequel.
A prequel, yeah. I definitely think it's a prequel. Eventually, how we got to that point. I got about 80 years between now and then to.
That makes sense to fill in the hole of because as the left keeps pushing, you'll be able to work more of the absolutely how we're on the path to the ridiculousness you're talking about.
And as I would write, it took me about 4 years to write this. I would come up with something and I was thinking, this is as far out as you can get. So I would have that in the book, and 6 months later, there it is in the paper. Like, oh well, I missed that one. Or they beat me to it.
I hear you. I hear you. All right. Thanks. Take care. God bless.
You too, sir. Thank you. God bless. Take care.
America 250, wow, seem to have lost their way. Us real U.S. patriots fighting for our republic to stay. Our Judeo-Christian foundations tried and true. Freedom ringing for me and you. Hey! America 250, we're looking in the mirror. Some folks lost the map, but we can see it clearer. Real U.S. patriots standing in the rain, holding on to the promise, keeping faith in the name. Judeo-Christian roots run deep, tried and true. We keep what we keep through the hard days, through the fight. We still know wrong from right. Freedom ringing for me and you. Freedom ringing, tried and true. We stand up, we won't back down. Republic strong in this hometown. Freedom ringing for me and you. Freedom ringing, red, white, blue. Hand on heart when the flag goes by. A 4th of July, sparks in the midnight sky. Moms in the pews, dads on the porch. Kids still learning what this country's for. Judeo-Christian roots run deep, tried and true. We keep what we keep through the hard days, through the fight. We still know wrong from right. Freedom ringing for me and you. Freedom ringing, tried and true. Oh, we stand up, we won't back down. Republic strong in this hometown. Freedom ringing for me and you. Oh, freedom ringing, red, white, blue. We're not done, not by a mile. We'll keep this fire, keep this trial. Whoa, nation still rising strong. Where the faithful still belong. Freedom ringing for me and you. Freedom ringing, tried and true. Oh, we stand up, we won't back down. Republic strong in this hometown. Oh, freedom ringing for me and you. Oh, freedom ringing, red, white, blue. Patriots, the people, we, part 2. Freedom for me and you. We hold these truths to be self-evident, all endowed by our Creator with unalienable rights. God bless America for another 250 years. From our cold dead hands, the atheist commie crats called us bitter clingers. called us names, bitter clingers from their towers so high. They think they know us, they think they own us, but they don't know a thing. From our cold dead hands, you won't take them. Our rights, our land, our God, our guns. From our cold dead hands, you won't sever these truths we hold forever. They preach their words, ungodly whispers, fever dream.
Like and subscribe to Constitutionalist Politics Podcast and share episodes. We need your help. Thank you for having tuned into another Constitutionalist Podcast show. I really appreciate that you stopped by. Again, please like, share, subscribe. We need you to help spread the Constitutionalist movement. Thank you again. Take care. God bless. Love you all.